Alrighty. It is your favorite auditor, Audit Them, the one who encourages you to audit them. And we are live, audio's on. And we are live, audio's on. Alrighty. Hey guys, how's it going? 55 rules of conduct. We're going over the 55 rules of conduct. This is from 2019. This is current as of 2019. However, general. So just to make sure here, we are looking at the rules and regulation of Chicago Police. Actually, 2015 issue date. We're going to skip a few pages here and go to rules of conduct. We could look at this at a later time. Standards of conduct. However, let's get to the rules. Let's see here. Alrighty, rule number 1. Violation of any law or ordinance. In addition to the positive requirements of all the foregoing sections, the following rules of conduct set forth expressly prohibit acts. Prohibited acts include, so this is what's prohibited: violation of any laws or ordinance. 2. Any action or conduct which impedes the department's effort to achieve its policy and goals or brings discredit upon the department. Do you hear those words carefully? Sergeant, you're bringing discredit upon your department. Commit. The rule applies to both the professional and private conduct of all members. Oh, private too. It prohibits any and all conduct which is contrary to the letter and spirit of the departmental policy or goals, or which would reflect adversely upon the departments or its members. It includes not only all unlawful acts by members, but also all acts, which, although not unlawful in themselves, would degrade or bring disrespect upon the member or the department, including public and, let's see if I could zoom in a little bit here. Let's see if I could zoom in. Alrighty. Yeah, this is a little bit better. So where were we? So to the department. It includes not only all unlawful acts by members, but also acts within which, although not unlawful in themselves, would degree bring disrespect. So rule number 3. Any failure to promote the department's efforts to implement its policies or accomplish its goals. Comment. The rule prohibits any omission or failure to act by any member of the public, whether on or off duty, which act would be required by the stated policy goals, rules, regulation, orders, and directives of the department. Or fails to report the department any and all violations of same, or who through carelessness, inefficiency, or design fail to become aware of such violation, comma, when their assigned duty or supervisory responsibility would require them to become so aware. Rule number 4. Any conduct or action taken to use the official position for personal gain or influence. Rule number 5. Failure to perform any duty. 6. Disobedience of an order or directive, comma, whether written or order. Comment, the rule prohibits disobedience by a member of any lawful written or oral order or directive of a superior officer. You notice how they use the word superior. Officer or another member of any rank who is relying on the order of a superior. Rule number 7. Insubordination or disrespect toward a supervisory member on or off duty. Disrespect to or maltreatment of any person while on or off duty. Number 8. So I could go down a list of sergeants that failed many of these rules here. But we definitely printed this out and we're going to attach it to the clipboard. Let's carry on. Rule number 9. We got to memorize this stuff. So, you know, sir, you are in violation of your own rule number 8, rule number, yada yada. Number 9, engaging in any unjustified verbal or physical altercation with any person, comma, while on or off duty. Rules 8 and 9 prohibit the use of any excessive force by any member. These rules prohibit all brutality, comma, physical or verbal maltreatment of any citizen while on or off duty, including any unjustified altercation of any kind. Rule number 10. Inattention to duty. 11. Incompetency or inefficiency in the performance of duty. Number 12. Failure to wear uniform as prescribed. Oh, we need that prescription list. We need to request the prescription list. So, uniform, Rule 14, failure to adequately to secure and care for department property. Number 14, making a false report, written or oral. Rule 16, entering any tavern or bar while on duty or in uniform, except in the performance of police duty. Rule number 17, drinking alcohol beverages while on duty or in uniform, or transporting alcohol beverages on or off in department property, except in the performance of duty. Number 18, A, engaging directly or indirectly in the ownership, maintenance, operation of a tavern or retail liquor establishment. B, engaging directly or indirectly in the ownership or leasing of a taxi cab. Ex-bootlicker, he said rule number 14. Yup, making a false report or written report. X, good to see you, bro. Good to see everybody in here. We got Angel in the building, Gray in the building, Press, hello there, X, Dan, Claudette, Utah, hello there, T. Dot, hello there. Salute to everybody in the building. Let's go ahead and carry on here. So we are at number 20. Or it says number 19 was repealed in 75 police board. You see, that's why we got to look at the old hardcovers. Sometimes people say, oh, the hardcovers, those are obsolete, those are useless. Nah, the hardcovers could reference things that been repealed. You know, for knowledge. Number 20, failure to submit immediately a written report that any member, including self, is under investigation by a law enforcement agency other than the Chicago Police Department. Let's read that one more time. Failure to submit immediately a written report that any member, including self, is under investigation by law enforcement agency other than the city of... Okay. So if an officer or sergeant now knows he's being investigated by any law enforcement. So, yeah. So failure to submit immediately written report that a member... Oh, shit. Let's slow the fuck down. Let's slow down. So number 20 is telling us that the sergeant, he has to report that he is under investigation. Hey, man, I went and I violated the cameraman's right. And I found out that they're going to file a complaint. So he has to report that. Okay, carry on. 21. Failure to report properly to the department any information concerning any crime or other unlawful action. 22. Failure to report to the department any violation or rules and regulations or any other improper conduct which is contrary to the policy, orders or directives of the department. Alrighty, 23, failure to obey department orders concerning other employment, occupation or profession. 24, failure to follow medical row procedures. 25, failure to actually reside within the corporate boundaries of the city of Chicago. 26, failure to provide the department with a current address and telephone number. 27, failure to report promptly and any anticipated absence from duty. 28, being absent from duty being absent from duty without proper authorization. Number 29, failure to be prompt for duty assignment, including roll call and court appearance. Rule 30, leaving duty assignments without being properly revealed or without proper authorization. Number 31, publicly criticizing the official actions of another department member when the result of such criticism can reasonably be foreseen to undermine the effectiveness of the official working relationship of the member within his assigned unit. All such criticism should be made and reported to the department. Alrighty. The nature of the mission of the police department requires to close and confidential report between members and their superiors and between fellow members. Public criticism of the official actions of other department members could seriously impair that relationship, which would be detrimental to the department's ability to achieve its goals and implement its policies. All public criticism of other members is not prohibited. However, when the effect of the public criticism can reasonably be foreseen to have a detrimental effect on members' effectiveness within the unit, the member must refrain from such conduct or the good of the department and the public welfare and safety. Alrighty, let's go ahead and carry on. 32. Engaging in any statements, interviews, activity, deliberation, of discussion pertaining to the police department which reasonably can be foreseen to impair the discipline, comma, efficiency, comma, public service, comma, or public confidence in the department or its personnel by A. false statements or reckless, unsupported accusations. B. The use of defamation language, abusive language, comma, invective or epithets. Number 33, rule number 33. Sitting in the public conveyance while in uniform or as a non-paying passenger when the passengers are standing. Let's read that one over again. Number 33. Sitting in a public conveyance while in uniform. Sitting in a public conveyance. Oh, okay, sitting down. They should not be sitting down. They should be standing up, 10 toes. It's forbidden for them to be sitting in a public conveyance while in uniform. Do you see how big that one is? Or as a non-paying passenger while paying passengers are standing. Okay, so let's go ahead and carry on. Rule number 34. Failure to keep vehicle in public view while assigned to a general patrol duty except when otherwise by a supervisor member. So failure to keep a vehicle in public view. Vehicle always has to be in public view. 35. Concealing a department vehicle for the sole purpose of apprehending traffic violators. So they say number 35 is concealing a department vehicle for the sole purpose of apprehending traffic violators. That one is going over my head. 35. 36. Permitting any person not on official police business to ride in a department vehicle unless specifically authorized. At number 36. At number 37. Here's the famous one here. Failure of a member, whether on duty or off, to correctly identify himself by giving his name, rank, and star number when so requested by other members of the department or by a private citizen. That's the famous one. However, here's where they made a mistake at. They said to correctly identify himself, they're supposed to say himself or herself. They didn't put herself. But anyway, that's the famous one everybody likes, you know. So here it is. Failure of a member, whether on duty or off duty, to correctly identify himself by giving his name, rank, and star number. Yeah, I'm Sergeant James John. I'm Sergeant James. My star number is 974. Number 38. It's forbidden, or number 38, unlawful or unnecessary use of display of weapon. Not right here, exactly. Not right here. Yeah, Joe Cool, he has this one memorized. He says it on his videos, all you know. Number 39, failure to immediately make an oral report to the desk sergeant at the district of an occurrence and to follow such oral report with a written report on the prescribed form. They have to stick to the prescribed form. Oh, let me slow you guys down. Whenever a firearm is discharged by a member. Okay, so what we're doing here, not only are we familiarizing ourselves with the actual factual rules, being informed of what's going on, informed citizenry, but we are also creating public record requests out of these. So look what it says here. Prescribed form. What I got out of this is now copies of all. Here, let me write this down. Department prescribed forms. Blank here. Watch this. Blank copies of all departmental prescribed forms. I like to know all the forms that they're required to fill out. So that's what I'm requesting. I'm about to request these words here. Blank copies of all departmental prescribed forms. All right. Besides that, they're also saying whenever a firearm is discharged by a member. So that's telling me that there's a specific form for that. Oh yeah, DPN used to use that too. Yep. R.I.P. to him, you know. X, do you know how he passed? I'm curious. I don't know the story. Do you know what was the reason? So yep, blank copies of all departmental prescribed forms. Beautiful. Number 40, failure to inventory and process recovered property in conformance with the department orders. Oh, diabetes. Wow. Man, he was young. X said it's very private. Diabetes. Man, he was young. Nobody knows when their time is up, you know. Number 40, failure to inventory and process recovered property in conformance with department orders. 41, disseminating, releasing, altering, defacing, or removing any department record or information concerning police matters except as provided by department orders. 42, participating in any partisan political campaign or activity. I always hear Fake Mike saying nonpartisan. Let's define partisan. There has to be another side to the story, ex-bootlicker, if you say that it's private, but other people are saying it's diabetes. So maybe there's, you know, more than one story, but that's nor here nor there, man. You know, he was definitely inspiring and educating the people out there. A moment of silence for him. Man, yep. Rest in peace. Rest in peace to him. Smooch is in the building. Hello there, Smooch. We are now at number, let's see, carry on here. 42, participating in any partisan. Yep, let's define that one. Partisan definition.
Here's the definition of partisan. A strong supporter of a party, cause, or person.
Okay, so Fake Mike Real News, he's non-partisan. He's not in strong support of any party's cause or person. Alrighty, let's go ahead and carry on here. Number 43, discussing bail with the person who is in custody, except by those specifically authorized to let the bond or to let the bond. Yep. Number 44, giving an opinion as to fine or penalty. Giving an opinion as to fine or penalty. Yeah, here you got a fine, but this is my opinion. This is what you got to do, you know. But they always, all the time, they give an opinion to a fine. They say, just go to their website, pay it online, and you wouldn't have to go to court. It's just a simple traffic infraction. So they might be in violation of Rule 44, giving an opinion as to a fine or penalty, if that's my interpretation. Number 45, recommending any professional or commercial services. Number 46, advising any person engaged in a professional or commercial service that such professional or commercial service may be needed. Smooch is in the building. Is that the real Smooch? Wow, that's strange. It's not letting me give out mod sticks. It's not giving me the option to modulate. Alrighty. Number 47. Associating or what's that? Fret with any person known to have been convicted of any felony or misdemeanor. Misdemeanor. Either state or federal, excluding traffic and municipal ordinance violation. That's the real Smooch. Nah, cause you know sometimes they make there's soccer people that do soccer counts and shit. Nah, salute to Smooch, man. She's definitely out there in the community helping out folks, you know, and wanting a more freedom world, nation. So number 47, yep, number 48, soliciting is forbidden, or accepting any gratuity, or soliciting or accepting a gift, present, reward, or other thing of value for any service rendered as a department member, comma, or as a condition for the rendering of such service, or as a condition for not performing sworn duties. Number 49, giving to or receiving from any other member any gift, comma, present, or gratuity, excluding gifts accepted from the relative or close friends upon appropriate occasions. No supervisory member will receive a present from a subordinate member. YouTube is in the building. YouTube is actually, yep. Salute to everybody in here. Okay, let's go ahead and carry on. 49. Giving or receiving any member. 50. Rule number 50. Giving any gift, comma, present, comma, or gratuity, if I'm pronouncing that correctly, to any to another member or person not in his family without the specific approval of the police board, comma, excluding donations not exceeding $3 given in honor of retirements, comma, or to the hospitalized or deceased members, comma, provided a member above the rank of captain has approved of the donation. Party, comma, dinner, comma, and entertainment expenses will be paid by the individual by persons attending without prior collection through department channels. Oh wow, what happened to you, Smooch, with the channel? What happened to the channel? And she got a folder called non-compliance. That's a good one. You got a folder called non-compliance. Alrighty, number 51. Number 51, a failure to testify or give evidence before any grand jury, comma, coroner's inquest, or court of law, or before any governmental, administrative, or investigative agency, city, state, federal, when the properly called upon to do so, and when there is no properly asserted constitutional privilege or when the immunity form prosecution has been granted. From B, Section B, failure to cooperate when called to give evidence or statements by any investigative branch or superior officer of Chicago Police Department or Police Board when the evidence or statements sought relates specifically, directly, and narrowly to the performance of his official duty. If the member properly asserts that a constitutional privilege directly and narrowly to, so he will be, I'm looking at the comments too, he will be required to cooperate if advised that by law enforcement, by evidence statement, by him cannot be used against him in a subsequent criminal prosecution. 52. Seeking or soliciting contributions of any kind from anyone, by any means, for any purpose, under any circumstances, including collections for charitable purposes by any member or his agent, group of members or their agents, and including and sale or solicitation by any member of his agent, group of members or their agents, comma, or advertising for any police journal, magazine, or other publication identified when the Chicago Police Department or any association of its members, except as specifically authorized by resolution of Police Board. The member shall be subject to disciplinary action for any violation of this provision by his agent. The officer, directors, or trustees of any association identified with members of the Chicago Police Department shall be subject to disciplinary action for any violation of his provision make on behalf of the associations by any member thereof or agents. The provision do not apply to the solicitation of the police personnel by police association for the membership or dues. Number 53. We're working it up. I just hit a few bench presses. So I hit the body with energy. Now we're hitting the mind with energy. Participating in. It is forbidden to be participating in. I need my billy club as I give this lecture. I gotta wave a billy club as I'm giving this lecture. Number 53, and throw one finger in the sky. Rule number 53, it is forbidden for a police officer, participating in, encouraging the participation of others in, or otherwise supporting any strike, demonstration, comma, slow down, comma, or other such concerned action against the department. It would be awesome if they have half of this stuff right. close to, yeah, a quarter of the stuff right. So it's forbidden for them to participate, encourage, and to slow down. Alrighty, let's carry on. 54. Wow, 54 and 55 are a page right here. Okay, number 54. It is forbidden. A, joining. Rule number 54, joining or retaining membership in. Joining or retaining, so they're forbidden to join or retain a membership in, or soliciting other membership to join any labor organization whose membership is not exclusively limited to the full-time law enforcement officers. Let's read some of the comments here. Right, duties and privileges, X. So, It is provided that this rule will not apply to civilian members nor membership in labor organizations in connection with and relating solely to, approved secondary employment and sworn members. Section B, joining or retention of membership by supervisory personnel in any labor organization whose membership is composed of rank and file number of the department and whose purpose is to represent its members concerning wages, hours, and working conditions. It is provided that this rule will not apply to the joining or retention of memberships with ranks and file members of the departments in an organization whose primary purpose is social, religious, ethnic, or racial. That probably like the LGBTQ police liaisons. Nor does it apply to non-sworn police staff. Hello there, B. Alrighty, comments. A, management disputes frequently develop into situations requiring the presence and or action of law enforcement officers to ensure that the rights of both labor and management are not violated by criminal acts. Law enforcement purpose is these deputies must be one of strict and absolute neutrality and impartiality. The policy of absolute oh shit, wait a minute. Gloria is in the building. Gloria's in the building. Gloria's in the building. Gloria, I gotta come up with a strategic plan for you and for the few members that are a member of my channel. I really thank you guys. For real, man. That means a lot. I gotta come up with a strategic procedure for the membership portion, and believe me, I am. And I'm gonna do it especially because of you, Gloria, because you told me what really stuck out to me was told me that that you said, oh yep, you guys should sign up to the membership because you guys will not or you guys would love it, or you know, something in those lines. So definitely believe me, I'm coming up with a plan for the members, believe me. All right, let's go ahead and carry on. Good to see you, Gloria. Good to see everybody in here. Alrighty, B, section B. Supervisory personnel means any sworn member of the rank of sergeant and above. Due to the growing activities of police labor organization in regard to wages, hours, and working conditions, the membership of supervisory personnel who are charged with supervisor rank and file members in regard to wages, hours, and working conditions would present a conflict of interest. Alrighty. So what we got next is section or rule number 55. Holding cigarette, cigar, or pipe in mouth while in uniform and in contact with the public. So they can't be smoking. That is the 55 rules of the Chicago Police Department. And like I said, at a later time, we will go over. Well, what do you guys say? What do you guys say? If you want me to go over the 19 points right now, if you guys want me to additionally go over the 19 standards, we went over the rules of conduct, but these are the standards. If you want me right now to go over the standards of conduct, drop ones in the chat. If you want me to do it at a later time, drop two. If that was too much to intake already, we could save this for a later time. Well, anyway, let me step to the side. Let me get a bottle of water real quick. And by the time I come back, let me see some ones and twos in the chat. I will be right back in a few minutes, guys. Meanwhile, please hold the floor down. Alrighty. We are back on duty. We are back on duty. We are back on duty. So I don't see any ones or twosies. Well, I see a couple ones. Alrighty. Well, I tell you what. Here, let's do this. Let's see. So these are standards of conduct. We said there was 17, right? So let's say 1 page, 2, 3, 19, right? About 3 pages. What do you guys say? Should we zip through it now or at a later time? I can't hear you. I can't hear you. You put in the wrong character, bro. It's a 1 digit. No, I'm playing. Alrighty, you guys ready to rumble? Come on, man. Hype up the shit. You guys are all in the comment section. Hype it up. Let's get the numbers up. Let's go for it. Number 1. Standard. We should have done these in order first. We should have knocked these out first. Number 1, standard of conduct. Police officers are frequently. You know what I'm going to try to do? I'm going to try to identify. Here's what I'm really going to try to do. I'm going to identify an AI voiceover that we could use Chief Wiggum's voice, and I'm going to have him transcribe all the internal policies in the Chicago Police Department. That way we could listen to that as freely and, you know, just it'll take 2 seconds. Just transfer the voice into the text and we could listen to this shit all day long. But from Chief Wiggum. So standards of conduct. Police officers are frequently required to make decisions affecting human life and liberty. In difficult situations where there is little or no opportunity to seek advice and little time for reflection. Law enforcement, therefore, require an officer to have the stamina, intelligence, moral courage, and emotional stability necessary to fairly and impartially deal with the human beings in many complicated and potentially explosive situations which he can encounter. They got to put he or she. It is incumbent that the department where are we at? I got thrown off by this text message. Let me get back on the screen here. Okay, right here. It is incumbent that the department utilize the best recruitment and psychological testing techniques available, and to therefore provide training for all personnel in order to ensure that the highest level of professional conduct is achieved. Due to the constant stress which is inherent in police service, the psychological and emotional stability of all members must be assured. Somebody messaged Delete Laws. Tell him this he should be in this reading too. He likes this type of shit. Somebody text message DLZ. Therefore, testing techniques may be available and utilized on containing basis for the good department and the community. It must be designated to identify and isolate behavior characteristic of members who become unsuitable during the tenure in the department. Wow, it took us a whole hour to read the first section. Let's go ahead and go to the next. Number 2. It is in the best interest of law enforcement that the department attract and promote the most qualified individuals available with regard to race, religion, ethnic background, or any other such consideration. However, as such policy must be designed to promote and encourage qualified representation from all segments of the community. Number 3, the law enforcement code of ethics is adopted as a general standard of conduct for all sworn members of the department. It states, this is the code of ethics, guys. This is a powerful one here. As a sworn law enforcement officer, I, Officer John Jones, as a sworn law enforcement. Hey, DLZ Clips, what up, though? Hello there, good to see you. Let's confirm, hold on real quick. Oh yeah, that is the real DLZ Clips. So let's go ahead and throw a wrench at him. DLZ Clips. Alright, DLZ Clips, I thought of you, bro, because this relates to law enforcement stuff, and you know firsthand that from the experience that you have, that a lot of these codes are being violated and broken, these rules. So let's add as modulator. Oh wow, it will not let me add anybody as a modulator on as of right now. I'm not sure why. I tried to do that for a smooch earlier. It only got the tabs. Go to channel, pin message, report, remove, put user in timeout, or hide user on channel. It's not giving me the tab to add a modulator. Alrighty, let's go ahead and carry on. But salute to you. I don't know if that's Delete Laws or that's the Delete Laws producer. You know, the person who does the videos, the producer for Delete Laws. So, as law enforcement, Section A, Carrying on. Alrighty. As law enforcement officer, my fundamental duty, this is what cops say, as law enforcement officer, my fundamental duty is to serve mankind, to safeguard lives and property, to protect the innocent against deception, the weak against oppression or intimidation, and the peaceful against violence or disorder, and to respect the constitutional rights of all men to liberty, equality, and justice. Wow. So this is definitely going on the clipboard here. I'm going to memorize that, so I could start reading that out loud on camera to the officer who's doing otherwise. So, Section B. I will keep my private life unsullied as example to all. Maintain courteous calm in the face of danger, scorn, or ridicule. Develop self-restraint, and be constantly mindful of the welfare of others. Honest in thought and deed in both my personal and official life. I will be exemplary in obeying the laws of the land and the regulations of my department. Whether I see or hear or a confidential nature, or that is confined to me in my official capacity, will be kept ever secret unless revelation is necessary in the performance of my duty. Guys, please make sure you hit the thumb up. Make sure you guys hit the thumb up, hit the bell. Number C, Section C. I will never act officiously or permit personal feelings, prejudice, animosities, friendship to influence my decision, with no compromise for crime and with relentless prosecution of criminals, I will enforce the law courteous and appropriately without fear or favor, malice or ill will, never employing unnecessary force or violence, and never accepting gratuities. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Let's go ahead and carry on. I recognize the badge of my office as a symbol of public faith. Sir, you're not honoring the public faith. Officer, you're not honoring the public faith. And accept it as a public trust. Sir, you're going otherwise from the public trust. To be held so long as I am true to the ethics of the police service, I will constantly strive to achieve these objectives and ideals, dedicating myself before God to be my chosen profession, the enforcement of law. Weak. So I gotta memorize that. It's simple. It's only 4 points. Just like I memorized the first 2 paragraphs of the FOIA Act. Just like I memorized half of the FOIA Act. So, yep, this would be a cute packet on the agenda. Number 4. The public demands that the integrity of law enforcement officers be above reproach, and the dishonesty of a single officer may impair public confidence and cast suspicion and disrespect upon the entire department. See, they're telling you action from one cop is fucking up the entire departments. And I shouldn't have said that word because this is for educational purposes. Okay. Succumbing to even minor temptation can be can be the genesis which will ultimately destroy an individual's effectiveness and contribute to the corruption of countless others. A member must scrupulously avoid any contact which might compromise the integrity of himself, his fellow members of the department. Remember that time when the female officer, she did the whole crew. So that was a minor temptation that she had, or a major temptation, that ultimately destroyed her effectiveness and contribution to the department. Thank you so much, DLZ Clips. Likewise, man, you know, you are one of one, bro. And the truth will always stand. Number 5, a police officer is the most conspicuous representative of government. Conspicuous, if I'm pronouncing that right. A police officer, that's a fun fact. That's a Fendi. That's a maxim. That's a maxim of law. T dot, look at this maxim of law right here. A police officer is the most conspicuous representative of government. Conspicuous. Let me look that up. Let me define that. Conspicuous definition.
Here's the definition of conspicuous: standing out so as to be clearly visible.
Okay. So a police officer is the most visible representative of government. And the majority of the people sorry about that. Like I said, we gotta clone Chief Wiggum in the AI. He said, audit them. You're in a great mood tonight. Alrighty. And the majority of the people, he is a symbol of stability and authority. The police officer with the big dick is the authority upon whom they can rely on. That's the officer. You bow down and kneel. You do everything the officer says. He's the big kahunas around here. Side by side with the sheriff. Do you understand that, Ranger? Do you understand that, Ranger? An officer's conduct is closely scrutinized. And when his actions are found to be excessive, unwarranted, or unjustified, he and the department, are criticized for mere severely that the comparable conduct of the persons in other walks of life. Now we're doing we're coaching, we're supervising the sergeants. Since the conduct of the member or of the duty that reflect directly upon the department, a member must at all times conduct himself in a manner which does not bring discredit to himself, the department, or the city. Alrighty. Number 6, effective law enforcement depends upon a high degree of cooperation between the department and the public it serves. The practice of courtesy in the public context encourages contacts. So courteous public encounters encourages understanding and appreciation. Discourteous breeds the contempt and resistance. Look at what that is. So discourteous, when a police officer is discourteous, that breeds contempt and resistance. That's another law maxim, T. Dot. The majority of the public are law-abiding citizens who rightfully expect fair and courteous treatment by members of the dept. While the urgency of a given situation would demand firm action, discourteous or disrespect shown towards any citizen is indefensible. The practice of courteous and respectful conduct by a member is not a manifestation of weakness. It is, on the contrary, entirely consistent with the firmness and practically that characterizes professional police officer. Carry on. Number 7. Members of the Chicago Police Dept are confronted daily with situations where firm control must be exercised to effect arrest and protect the public safety. Control is achieved through advice, persuasion, warnings of the use of physical force. While the use of reasonable physical force may be necessary in situations which cannot otherwise controlled, force may not be restored to unless other reasonable alternatives have been exhausted, or would clearly be ineffective under the particular circumstances involved. Officers are permitted to use force whether force is reasonable and necessary to protect others and themselves from bodily harm. The use of excessive and unwarranted force or brutality will not be tolerated any under circumstances. How it should be done and how they do it. That's why he says you got to audit them via practice versus procedure. Alrighty, number 8. As one of the world's largest city, Chicago is composed of many different communities, each with its own lifestyle and customs, and each with its own crime problems. The cosmopolitan nature of Chicago is manifested by the diverse ethnic and sociological background of its people. However, all persons in each area of the city share the common need of protection and service, which is afforded by fair and impartial law enforcement. You mean by funded by the people who know no better, or under coercion. In addition, as the person moves throughout the city, he must be able to accept a similar police response. Alrighty, let's see some of these comments here. The comments are zipping through. Oh, we got Delete Laws in the building. So I told you the DLZ Clips, I think that's Delete Laws producer. Delete Laws, this is a great packet here, man. Guys, please hit the thumb up. This is a very good packet that we should all memorize, because this is what governs our life and been governing our life for the past 100 years. So when you know this better than the actual oath breaker, then you're standing on your right on many packets. So we get to turn you folks into Delete Laws. We get to turn you folks one by one into Delete Laws. Number 8. Okay, so response to his behavior, wherever it occurs, when the law is not evenly and fairly enforced, that follows the reduction in respect for law resistance to its enforcement. Number 9. Alrighty. Number 9. In order to respond to varying law enforcement needs in different parts of the city, the department must have flexibility in deployment and methods of enforcement. However, enforcement policies should be formulated on a citywide basis and uniformly in all areas of the city, and for the groups and individuals. To ensure equal treatment in similar circumstances, a member must be alert and sensitive to the situations where, because of a language barrier for some other reason, he must display patience and understanding with what might otherwise appear to be a lack of response. At number 9. At number 10. A recognition of an individual's dignity is vital in the free system of law. Just as all persons are subject to the law, all persons have a right to be dignified treatment under the law, and the protection of its right is a duty which is as binding on the department and each of its members, as any other. Every member must treat each person with respect, and he must be constantly mindful that the people with whom he is dealing are individuals with human emotions and needs. Such recognition and conduct is not an additional duty imposed to a member's primary responsibilities. It is inherent in them. So they got to have the green thumb when they're out there in the field. Number 11, the department must be responsive to the needs and problems of various communities which it serves. While its task is governed by the law, policies formulated to guide, implement, and enforce must include consideration of public will. The responsive must be manifested in all levels of the department by a willingness to listen and a genuine concern for the problems of individuals and groups. Willingness to listen. Look at Officer Goetz, Sergeant Goetz. He filled a lot of these. The total needs of the community must become an internal part of the problems designed to carry out the missions of the DEPT. Alrighty. So let's go ahead and carry on here. Number 12. Law enforcement operations in a free society must not be shrouded in a society. There's a law, Maxim T. Dot. Law enforcement operations in a free society must not be shrouded in secrecy. I said society. Secrecy. Law enforcement operations in a free society must not be in secrecy. It is necessary that there be public disclosure of policies and programs. They're talking about FOIA. And openness in matter of public interest consistent with the protection of legal rights and the individuals under investigation or arrest, and with the consideration of the necessity for maintaining the confidentiality of the department records and other primary departmental responsibilities. The department must communicate accurately and factual accounts of occurrences of public interest and make known its objectives to serve. Alrighty, number 13. Daily contact with citizens is the level that bears the greatest burden of straightening community relationships. In dealing with people, each member must strive to make his contact one which inspires respect for himself as an individual and as a professional. No member can allow his individual feelings and or prejudices to enter into his public contacts. Every member must constantly be aware of and eliminate any attitudes which might impair his effectiveness or partially. Young GD, what down, 1700. They didn't let the GDs in the dough. Number 14. Alrighty. Community relations and citizens' contact is based upon the principle that in a democratic society, but it's a republic. In a democratic society, and police are integral and indivisible element of the public they serve. A system of law and its enforcement is not superimposed upon unwilling public. The law is created by the people themselves to control the behavior of those who would seek to interfere with the community welfare and existence. Number 15. While the primary responsibility for code enforcement of the laws lies with individual citizen, the complexities of society have required the creation of police service to assist in maintaining social order. Social order, social order. The police represent only a portion of the total resources expanded by the public to the end. However, this effort, frequently being restrictive of individuals' freedom, brings the police into contact with citizens under circumstances which have a far-reaching impact upon the lives of the affected individuals. A citizen's encounter with the police can be a very frightening experience, and under such circumstances, the risk of misunderstanding is great. The minimization of the risk is a challenge intrinsic in every public contact by members of the department. Each member of the department must strive to establish a climate where he may perform his sworn duties with the acceptance, understanding, and approval of the public. Let's go ahead and continue here. Number 16. To promote such acceptance, understanding and approval, there must be communication between individual citizens and groups and members of the department at all levels. The department must encourage, so I'm going to use that number 16 as soon as I receive the real roster from CPD, 13,000 employees. I'm going to use number 16 on them. Because look what it says here. To promote such acceptance, understanding, and approval, there must be communication between individual citizens and groups and members of the department at all levels. So now when I flicker through the real roster and I start calling out the commanders and the higher ups, and I start asking them questionnaires about their job duties, I'm going to tell them, sir, this is part of section 16 of the standards, this is to promote acceptance, understanding, and approval. That there may be a communication between individual citizens and groups and members of the DEP at all levels, commander, superintendent, chiefs. Everything that is being read is the opposite. It's sad and sickening. Let's go ahead and continue. Number 17. Okay, so, yep. To ensure, so here what it says. The department must encourage productive dialogue with public to ensure that the unity of the police and the community is preserved. Alrighty, let's go ahead and carry on. Number 17. We got up to 19 here. Number 17. To the end, the professional and private lives of all members must be beyond reproach. There is an intimate lowering of esteem and suspicion of ineffectiveness when there is a public contact by a member evidencing the use of intoxicants. Additionally, the stresses of the law enforcement require an employee to be mentally alert and physically responsive, quick. The consumption of intoxicants, therefore, cannot be tolerated while a member is on duty, except to the minimum requirements of a specific police assignment. Hey man, we want you to go undercover, go to the bar, drink some beer, and talk, socialize with them gals over there. They'll lead you into the bad guys. Every member must also be constantly aware that while technically off duty, he is subject to respond to any emergency requiring his service. He's off duty. It's 5 o'clock in the morning. Jones, we need you. Get your ass off your bed. Hurry up. Tackle. The off-duty use of intoxicant must therefore, be moderate in order to allow the mental and physical requirements for immediate response. Zip. An off-duty member under the influence of an intoxicant represents a danger to himself and others that cannot therefore be permitted. How many videos have you seen with cops busted for DUI? Yeah. Bebo. Proper presentation prevents poor performance. That's the real PPP loan. That's real knowledge. Proper preparation prevents poor performance. Yeah. That is the PPP loan. Alrighty. Well, number 18. As most police work is necessarily performed without close individual supervision, the responsibility for proper performance of the member's duty, whether he be on or off duty, lies primarily with the member himself. A member carries with him, as of all times, the responsibilities for safety of the community. He discharges the responsibility by the faithful and dedicated performance of his assigned duty and an immediate and intelligent response to emergency. Anything less violates the trust placed in him by the community, and nothing less qualifies as professional conduct. Number 18, the final one. It is essential that public confidence be maintained in the ability of the department to investigate and properly dispose of complaints against its members. Additionally, the department has the responsibility to seek out the discipline those who discredits the department or impairs the effective operation. The rights of the member as well as those of public must be preserved, and any investigation arising from the complaint must be conducted fairly, impartially, and effectively, with the truth as a primary objective. Alrighty, beautiful. We zip through two remainders. We zip through two packets here. How long were we on live for? We were probably on live for about an hour and a half. So this is worth everybody an hour and a half of everybody's life to inform themselves with stuff like this. Because this is what you stand on your rights when you know these type of things. Now go ahead and send out a memo email to all 13,000 police officers in the city of Chicago and tell them to come view this video right here as it is verbatim for facts. I want you to, so they could freshen up on their duties and obligations. So they could refresh on their duties and obligations. You know what? If I tomorrow, if I got the real roster from CPD, what I'll do is I'll reach out to the commanders out there. If you folks want a bridge between the people and the police, I'll reach out to the commanders and the big boys, and I'll tell them, hey man, listen, I'm going to send you a link. I want you to put this link on a DVD disc and hand it out like a flyer to all your 13,000 police officers tomorrow. I want you to put this recording here. Since they don't want to read it on their own time, this is an audio available for them. I want you to allocate $7,000 to print up 13,000 DVD discs to put this video as an audio on a DVD. And I want you to hand deliver. As a commander, I want you to make a meeting and I want you to pass out these discs to every single officer in the city of Chicago so he could refresh on what he's supposed to stand on. And if he breaks any one of these codes, there's consequences. So this is a refreshment. And I want the people tomorrow, and I want all the people, like the regular people like you and I, tomorrow, or after this CD's passed out, to go have a questionnaire for officers. Officer, let me ask you about, this is a consensual conversation, officer. Let me ask you about rule number 10 from your regulations packet. Sir, let me remind you of section 48 of your rules packet. Not necessarily a DVD disc, but at least, send out a memo email. Send out a chain email to all the officers, 13,000 zip. One email forward from the server. Go to this Peon's YouTube channel and you could hear you guys' own rules and regulations, since you officers are too lazy to read it and you're dumbfounded of knowing about it. Go to that monkey's channel and you could hear it on there. Delete Law said we are the peons. We Nah, bro, we are the heroes, bro. DLZ. They trained us to be peons. They trained us to be washed minded. But they fucked up when they gave us internet and knowledge and cameras. we're ex peons. Like ex bootlicker. But I'm not gonna say that I was a bootlicker though. Alrighty. Anyhow, so this is a 13 page here. It's almost like we read through it all, but we did not. There's some additional stuff on here, guys, that maybe we could go over. Here, let's go over some of the definitions if you guys want. There's a few of them. Definitions. The following definitions govern the use in terms of the rules and regulation. Department means Chicago Police Department. Supervisory member is a member responsible for the departments of duty and to conduct. So, C, sworn member or officer, a member who is dedicated by an oath of law enforcement profession and who has possessed the power of an arrest. The camera's a game changer. D, civilian member, a member of the department who is not sworn. On duty, any employee at the department engaging in any activity during special. Alrighty, pronouns, LGBTQIA. Alrighty, well, there it is, guys. What a great reading it was. It was a great reading. It's very important. Jay says, you can't mandatory train what can't be trained. Yeah, it all has to be on the acceptance of the individual officer to have that want, to have that will. You know what I'm saying? So you could have a classroom full of students, but not all of them are going to pay attention. And I wish this was StreamYard so I could send you guys out links and we could get a few people on the panel to discuss this stuff. It's a little complicated through OBS. There's a way, but I'm not sure how at this moment. Now, what I could try to do, though, is I could try to multi-task. Or that might eat up a lot of juice. No, that might eat up a lot of juice. I wanted to open up a open panel so we could discuss this stuff here that we just went over, what we went over. But that about it, you know. This was a great read. I do have it printed out right here in my hand too. I'm going to highlight this at a later time. And I'm definitely going to put this packet in my accordion and my clipboard. That's what I'm saying, B. That's a faithful statement there. When it gets out to the courts, they pick and choose what they use. See, hear, suit their agenda. Nah, oh, I thought you were saying when this gets to court, when they get to court, the esquires and the attorneys go through these rules and they pick out these rules word for word. Sir, so you're admitting you violated section 4. You're admitting you violated section 18. If I sat there leg on leg and went through Goetz and went through some of these encounters that I've been through, I could use the standard to apply more to the complaint. The complaint can file so much of the information. Alrighty. Well, that is that. Well, I am eligible for a freestyle session. Even when the stars come falling down, down, down. Even when the stars come falling down. Alrighty. If it's not one thing, it is another. Anyway, let me get a whole bunch of ones in here so I could salute everybody before we end this feed. This was a real good stream. This was a great stream. I'm going to have to read over this stuff a few times over and over. I'm going to have to highlight a few things. Meanwhile, what I want you guys to do too is keep up the good work, man. Keep up the strong fight, like that employee said earlier in the video that I released today. Make sure you guys be on the lookout. I got some new stuff coming fairly soon. Thank you all, guys. North Press, Claudette, YouTube, T. Delete Laws, Gloria, everybody that came in the chat. Sevenfold, Jack, hello there. X Bootlicker, DLZ Clips, Angel, the people, what up though? Angel K, Smooch, hello there. Everybody, really. Well, anyway, guys, I'll probably I'll open up another panel shortly. I don't know, probably within real soon I'll open up another panel, but freestyle only. If you guys are not into that, go somewhere else. But you know, I like to, after I do these readings and after these encounters that I have, I like to transmute that through the music too. Freestyle, open up a dimension, put it to the bit, to the instrumental, to the song, to the beat, and just let it flow. It's unlimited because it's from the heart. It's pure. It's actionable. I'm encouraging folks to take action through the music as well. It's not written, so it's all about the moment. It's about the moment. And just like the waves flash, come and go, but they don't sit there and think that you know, waiting for an opinion of another to validate them. You are the wave. Audit them, the one who encourages you too. Audit them. Plenty love, guys. Thank you.